Hello, students. In today's lesson, we will understand the very first chapter of your geography book, India's size and its location on the Earth. Have you ever looked at a globe and wondered, where exactly are we? Well, we're going to answer that question and a lot more.
So let's quickly look at our plan for today. First, we'll do a quick revision of how we locate any place on the globe. Then, we'll find India's exact address. After that, we'll talk about a very important line called the Tropic of Cancer. We'll also see just how big our country is. And finally, we'll solve the interesting puzzle of Indian Standard Time. Okay, let's get started.
First things first. Before we can find India, we need to revise some basic concepts. Think of it like learning the basic rules before you play a game. So, let's understand how we locate any place on a global scale. So, how do we do it? How do we find a specific spot on a huge sphere like our planet? Well, to pinpoint any location, geographers came up with a clever idea: an imaginary grid system on the globe. And this system uses two main types of lines.
The first type of lines are called latitudes. Now, the easiest way to picture them is to think of them as horizontal circles that go around the Earth, running from east to west. The main one, right in the middle at 0 degrees, is the equator, and all other latitudes are parallel to it.
The second type are longitudes. These are the vertical lines. You can imagine them like the segments of an orange, running straight from the North Pole down to the South Pole. Together, these latitudes and longitudes create a crisscross pattern, a grid, that helps us find the exact address of any place on Earth. Okay, so now that we've revised latitudes and longitudes, let's use them to find India's precise address on the world map. This is where it gets really interesting.
As you can see clearly on this map, the equator, which is that 0-degree latitude, passes below India. What does this mean? It means our country is located completely, 100% in the northern hemisphere.
Let's zoom in a bit. Now this map is really important because it shows us the exact coordinates of our main land. Let's break down what these numbers actually mean. So, these numbers are crucial. They form the boundaries of our country. Notice the N from north after the latitudinal values? That tells us we are north of the equator. And the E for east tells us we're to the east of the prime meridian. So from south to north, we stretch from about 8 degrees to 37 degrees north. And from west to east, we go from 68 degrees to 97 degrees east.
Now there is one very special latitude that passes right through our country. It's an important line that we should all know about. Let's take a closer look.
Look closely at the map. Do you see this dotted line? This is the Tropic of Cancer. Its value is 23 degrees and 30 minutes north. And it acts like an imaginary belt, cutting right through the middle of India and dividing the country into almost 2 equal halves. Okay, now let's move on from location to the size of India. Our country is incredibly vast, and these numbers will really help you understand just how big it is. The total land area of India is a massive 3.28 million square kilometers. It's a huge number, kind of hard to imagine, right? But this vast size is what gives us such an incredible variety of landforms and cultures.
And this massive area, it accounts for 2.4% of the world's total geographical area. So, out of all the land in the world, India holds about 2.4% of it.
So where does this put us in the world ranking? Well, this makes India the 7th largest country in the world by area. And this chart illustrates our position perfectly. You can see the 6 countries that are larger than India in terms of area: Russia, Canada, the USA, China, Brazil, and Australia. And right there at number 7 is our country, India. Now for a very interesting and logical topic, Indian Standard Time. Because India is so wide from east to west, it creates a bit of a time puzzle. Let's figure it out.
You see, because the Earth rotates from west to east, the sun always rises in the east first. This means in Arunachala Pradesh, which is in the east, the sun rises about 2 hours earlier than it does in Gujarat, which is in the west. 2 hours! That's a big difference.
So that's a very good question, right? If the sun is rising at different times, why do all our watches show the same time no matter where we are in India? Well, imagine the confusion if they didn't. Trains would get all mixed up, flights would be a mess, and you wouldn't know when your favorite TV show is actually starting.
So, to solve this problem, we've chosen a central longitude, or a meridian, for the entire country. This line that you see here is our standard meridian. It passes through a place called Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh.
The time on this line, 82 degrees 30 minutes east, is taken as the official standard time for the whole country. And that is what we call
Indian Standard Time, or IST. It's why our watches all show the same time.
This single standard time is absolutely crucial for our daily lives. Just think about it. It helps coordinate train and flight schedules, television broadcasts, even our school and office timings. Imagine the chaos if the school bell rang at different times in different states.
So, by understanding this logic of location, size, and time, you can confidently answer multiple choice questions, short answers, and even reasoning questions in your exams. Well done for making it through this chapter. You are now ready.